Hey, everybody, it's Jade. Thanks so much for swinging on through. I'm happy to have you. And Vikings fans, Purple people, what's happening with this team? What's happening? It's been days since it occurred. It's been days, and I'm still mildly flabbergasted because at the end of the day, when you think about what they've done, you just have to say to yourself, well, it is the Minnesota Vikings. After all, the Vikings are gonna Viking, aren't they? Because the final Stooge that needed to be shown the door, right? The final Stooge that needed to have his curtain call, he's still here. He's still standing center stage awaiting his line because Kirk Cousins, aka Pizza Ranch Boy, he is gonna be with the Purple through 2023 because they extended him again. Why? That would be, okay, so yeah, all right. So they extended him again, all right? Kirk Cousins through 2023. It saves $14 million. Could have done a lot more, but all right. Okay, so that's something, right? But to me, that's like the equivalent of, people on the Oregon Trail hitching your wagon to a lame horse here. That's not going to get you to the end of the trail. It's not. Yeah, you might start off with that, but that horse, it's not going to get you there. You need somebody young. You need a young and fresh horse, all right, to get you to the end of that Oregon Trail, damn it. And it's not going to happen here. It's not going to happen. There's delusion within this organization, within this team. I knew it was bad, but this is bad here, people. This is bad. I don't know what they're doing. And, speaking of horses, I'm sure Zim is just chuckling and clinking his wine glass down at the ranch because Zim knows how this is going to play out. People, we know how this is going to play out. We are in purple purgatory here. I just have to to keep from, I think, spontaneously combusting at this point, but it has been days. I can't, what was it, Tuesday when this came out? But yeah, it's been days. So he's the quarterback and there's a no trade clause. All right, I'm going to try to, I have so many notes here, people. I'm going to try to stay on the money here. Stay on target, something that Kirk Cousins does sometimes. Okay, lame. All right, I'm moving on. So speaking of Kirk Cousins, none other than Pizza Ranch Boy, the Vikings quarterback, I guess, through 2023. That cat, I swear, has the best agent in the biz, too. I think his name is Mike. Is it McAfee? McAfee. Is his agent's name Mike McAfee? It's like, Mike, you want to help me out, dude? You want to get me some money? Please. Because I swear, best agent in the NFL. So, Kirk Cousins, he was on K-Fan this week. He was on the Common Man program with Dan Cole and Mark Rosen. So, of course I listened to that. Of course I did. And it was exactly what you think. Kirk was asked, he was asked a few questions here. I wrote down a couple of notes and, the questions were like, basically, the one that stuck out to me that I really took the note on here, we'll get to that. All right. So a couple notable quotes here from Pizza Ranch Boy is, I think we have the pieces in place to win. When have we heard that before? When have we heard that before? In 2018, when you were originally signed to this team? And what the hell have you done since? Nothing. I think we have the pieces in place. No, you don't. I'm so sick of hearing that. No, you don't. And you know what, Kirk? You're the wrong puzzle piece, all right? If we got all the rest of the pieces, you're the wrong one, dude. And he's saying, too, he said that wanting to play in January. Oh, shut up. Oh, now you do. Now you want to play in January? Of course you're going to say that. He is the purple politician. That's what Kirk Cousins is. And so the question that stuck out to me that I'm like, oh, they went for it. They flat out asked him, hey, was your relationship with Mike Zimmer as tense as what was kind of like played out in the media? And then there was a question about Kevin O'Connell in that too. And so, of course, did Kirk say anything about the question about his relationship with Zim? Is it as tense as we were reading about? You can't stand him, Kirk, can you? You can't stand him. Come on, answer. Of course, he completely ignored it, like he is wont to do. He's never going to answer anything like that. No accountability here. No accountability at all. And you know what it is here, people? You know what it is? I'm repeating this because I've said it many a time. Everything started to go downhill in 2018. It's called the Case Keenum curse. It is alive and well. And to me, in my opinion, at this point, It's ownership that is a problem here. It is ownership that is the issue at hand. It really is, because what else is it? All right, you get rid of everybody else, and now you're gonna say, all right, we're gonna try to win the big one. We're gonna bring this team back because we think we can win. What did this team do in 2021 that would make you think, oh, let's bring everybody back because yeah, we're gonna win the big game. We're gonna get there. You didn't even make the playoffs in 2021. Delusion. Now, with Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, last year, that whole team came back. All those starters came back after they won the big game. Hey, it didn't work out. But you could see why Tampa Bay would want to bring everybody back, because they actually won. Delusion. The delusion is real here, people. All right, back to my notes. So, ownership. That's why, ownership, main issue here. I'm convinced of that. They looked for a Kirk Cousins coach. They did. I'm like, Kevin O'Connell is a carbon copy of Kirk Cousins. All right, a carbon copy. And the fact that Kevin has a signed Kirk Cousins jersey in his office. Why? Again, I could see having Tom Brady jersey in there, sure. Michael Jordan, sure. LeBron James, maybe even like a Phil Mickelson, sure. But Serena Williams, Lindsay Whalen, yeah. Diana Taurasi, sure. Yeah, we can see that. Kirk Cousins, what has he done? Oh man, people, we are in for a season here. We're in for a mediocre season. I have a feeling. Okay, and so ownership too. It's not like they haven't spent on this team. Oh, they have spent some dollars, right? They will. They built US Bank Stadium, aka the Bird Graveyard. But you know what? That's only gonna last for so long until people start questioning here, right? It's a bunch of smoke and mirrors. But when the smoke clears, all right, then we can really see, right? Then we can really see. And they didn't realize too. Ownership didn't realize that Zim and Spielman weren't speaking that entire last season, that they had gone, the GM and the head coach of your team had gone, months without speaking? They're absent owners. Who does that with a business? Who does that? I'm annoyed at ownership. And the team too, you talk about wanting to win championships, you talk about wanting to win the big game, so you're gonna bring back a team that did absolutely nothing. That really makes sense. That makes a lot of sense to me. No, it doesn't. And yeah, they had the chance to. You had the chance to revamp this team, but nope, they backed out. Didn't want to do it. And they have been vocal about saying that they don't want to restructure. They don't want to tear everything to the ground. Which means to me that they're going to be mediocre. They're okay with being mediocre. And you know why they're okay with being mediocre? Because that still makes them money. So I think fans, we need to stop going to games. We need to stop buying merch. We need to take control of this team, damn it, because the owners are not doing it. And yeah, the season hasn't even started yet. People are like, Jade, geez, calm down. The season hasn't even started. I'm looking through the forest, through the trees here, people, like I want to do. All right, so moving on. All right, Kevin, of course, this is his first time being a head coach. And yes, he came from a team that won it all. So I want to see what happens. Can he bring Kirk to another level? How many times have we heard that before too? Well, if Kirk just has a different coach, blah, 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 if he's not changing offensive coordinator. He is who he is. How many, you could say that maybe about a quarterback that's been in the league for a few years. Kirk's been in the league for like 10 years. Stop. I'm sick of it. Stop. I am not believing that. I'm not. And, all right, on to Kwesi. I think Kwesi Adofo-Mensah right now is probably thinking, oh shit, I do not have as much like sway and control as I thought that I did, because it seems as if Kwesi was open to having a different head coach. He, it has come out, or, it's seemingly that he was the one that wanted Jim Harbaugh here. That didn't work out. Okay, Kevin O'Connell comes in, the Kirk carbon copy. Okay, got that done. And then when Kevin comes in, I think Kwesi is now realizing, like, damn, I actually can't get rid of Kirk Cousins. Like, I think Kwesi was definitely open to it. I think that was something he wanted to do. It seems like, especially if he's an analytics guy, you would just think that. And again, I think this all just circles back to ownership. Like, they get the final call. Like, they're writing the paychecks, of course, right, of the general manager and the head coach. So at the end of the day, of course, ownership, they get the final call, sure. But when ownership is okay with being mediocre and they're not willing to take those big risks and big chances, doing the same thing over and over again, it's insane. It's insane. And then I start thinking to myself, okay, am I now insane because I'm still cheering for this team? Like, oh, okay, they're doing something different. But in reality, it's not any different. It's not any different at all, because ownership doesn't want this team to completely tank out, and yet they always want to kind of be in the mix, but they're not. They're scared. They're scared to make the big moves. They really are. And it's like, do I want to cheer for a team that the owners are a bunch of scaredy cats, especially in the NFL? I'm spiraling here, people, but it really makes you think. It really does. Like, oh man, I feel like I'm being gaslit by them in some sense of the way, but it could just be me. So anyway, I don't know. I'm skeptical of it all now, and I think we're in for another season like last season, because how could we not? They're bringing back pretty much the entire roster. All right, so speaking of that, hellos and goodbyes here. Danielle Hunter, let's move on to that. The Danielle Hunter news that I saw on Twitter this morning via Adam Schefter. Of course, he's always one to report the news. So as of today, Danielle Hunter is due $18 million, and according to the tweet, this was kind of part of it. Barring an unforeseen change, Minnesota plans to pay that. So, barring any, unforeseen change here, Minnesota, the Vikings do plan on paying the $18 million, which would then have Danielle Hunter remain on the team for the final 2 years of his contract. So I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. I feel like we as fans could read that and like, oh, like, breathe a sigh of relief here. We're gonna get to keep Danielle Hunter, but I don't know. There's something a little fishy there, especially the fact that he wrote this barring any unforeseen change. Okay. And the thing is, too, my personal opinion about Danielle Hunter is I don't think he wants to be here. I think he's kind of sick of the charade. And when Andre Patterson left, too, where did Andre Patterson go? Giants? Is that where he is now? I think that's a thing, too, because obviously they had a pretty tight relationship. But, Harrison Smith restructuring and coming back, and Eric Hendricks probably being there. Okay, we'll see what happens. So, speaking of that, the hellos and goodbyes. Let's go back to that again. Goodbye to Tyler Conklin. Tyler Conklin has now gone to the Jets. That is like a bittersweet parting. At least for me, I was a huge fan. I wish Tyler Conklin all the best when he goes to New York. I hope he absolutely just kills it out there. Hope he does great. And I thought he was a great tight end too, especially when Irv Smith Jr. obviously went down and was injured, and no more Kyle Rudolph, not on the Vikings anymore. Conklin really stepping up there. And so I guess the Vikings, they know more than we do, right? So they must know that Irv Smith Jr. is going to be ready to go. It's just, oh, man. And I already mentioned Harrison Smith restructuring and Adam Thielen as well. Michael Pierce was let go too, and they also added defensive tackle Harrison Phillips. So yeah, a lot of Harrisons going on here too. And yeah, so hellos, goodbyes. Not a lot though. It's like, okay, but nothing has really happened here. I guess we gotta believe them when they say, hey, we're bringing back everybody from 2021 because we think that they can get it done. They didn't get it done last year. So the delusion, all too real. All right, so I'm going to carry on here. So moving forward here, especially with the Kirk Cousins situation, no trade clause. He would have to agree to it. He's still getting paid. Could the team, hypothetically, still get rid of him? Trade him, I mean. Now, I've said this before, and I'm saying it again. Kwesi, you need to call 49ers. You need to get Kyle Shanahan on the line, because I think Kirk and Kyle, they need to be reunited. besties, BFFLs, best friends for life, literally. So I think they need to be reunited, straight up trade Jimmy G for Kirk Cousins. We could get some sort of pick too, maybe another player. All right, hey, that would be great. Fine, do it. Trey Lance, okay, for Kirk Cousins? I mean, hey, if they're willing to do that, sure. But I'm to the point right now where if you could do a straight up trade, and I've said this before too, Kirk for Jimmy G. So it's not like I'm, right here, right now, this is my first time thinking about it. But right now, I'm to the point where even after signing him in the no trade clause, all right, straight up trade, Kirk for Jimmy G, do it. The San Francisco 49ers, they're trying to get rid of him, and the landing spots for Jimmy G, they're kind of few and far between now with the quarterback carousel going around. It seems like maybe Indianapolis and perhaps Carolina Panthers could be a landing spot for Garoppolo, but Kirk for Jimmy G, do it. If there's anything that can be done, possible, Kwesi, call Kyle, get it done, make it happen. I'm sick of Kirk Cousins on this team, and I'm going to end it right now saying I'm still of the belief, even with a new coach, blah, 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 maybe get him to the next level. He is who he is. I mean, Kirk Cousins, of course, and I do not think the Minnesota Vikings are ever going to be able to win a Super Bowl with him under center, but I always say, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, all right? Prove me wrong, and I guess I have to accept that he's the quarterback, but do I? Do it. Trade him. Jimmy G. Trey Lance. Make it happen. 49ers, call him. All right, people. So, it's just, yeah, I'm stuck with them. I don't know what this team is doing. Do they need help? Do they need help? I mean, I'm available. We could look at the planets, astrologically speaking. We could look at things. We could make some better decisions. My opinion. All right. So moving on here, I'm going to wrap it up. Oh my gosh, I'm almost at 20 minutes, people. I was like, I'm talking for 10 minutes here. Rambling. All right. NFL rumblings going on here. Okay. And just one more thing too, I have to say, before we know it, people, the Minnesota Vikings are going to be the NFL's nursing home. They really are. Seriously. Okay. So NFL rumblings, Deshaun Watson. Now he's Cleveland Brown. So I guess the NFL is just gonna, well, we know this already. Let's just pay alleged abusers. Stupid. Like, whatever. It should be one and done. Like, you get in trouble like that, you're out of the NFL. Like, the Watson thing, he hasn't been, like, charged with anything, but I think there's still 20-some things pending against him. Yeah, I can't get behind that. You're right. I wonder too. I'm interested what Cleveland Browns think about that. The fans, what their fan base thinks. I mean, obviously a great player, but man. And I will say, between them, I'd rather have Kirk, of course. I'd rather have Kirk than Deshaun Watson. So, I mean, jeez. All right. I don't even know. All right, moving on. All right. The evil to the east. All right. The crybaby fiance. He lost his best wide receiver. Because Devontae was done. Devontae was done over it. He was like, peace out, all right, Green Bay. Peace out, Packers. I'm out of here. I'm over the crybaby, Shailene's fiance. I'm peacing out. I'm going to go reunite with my dude, Derek Carr. Now he is a Las Vegas Raider. So I always knew that. I always liked Davante Adams. I always knew that I liked him. He's been on my fantasy team. Nobody cares a couple of times. And you know what? Davante Adams, he's also part of that Capricorn club. So good for you, Davante. A little golf clap for Davante. Good for you. And now people are like, without Davante in the NFC North, the Vikings really have a chance. Shut it. No, they don't. Prove me wrong, though. Okay. So, and I don't even know who I'm saying shut it to. Like, nobody. Anyway, to wrap this up, people, happy post-full moon. We had a full moon in Virgo, also known as the worm moon. Yesterday, it's called the worm moon too because it indicates like the worm starting to move below the ground, which indicates, spring is on its way. So hope everybody had a wonderful full moon. And we have a new astrological new year starting on Sunday because we're going to be going into Aries season. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. And also that means happy spring. spring. So happy spring, everybody. And yeah, it's been a long one and 20 minutes right now. So woo, I can talk. Got that gift of gab, right, people? But I think the majority of you that have been on the channel for a while know that. And I thank you all for watching, for all of your comments. I really enjoy what you guys think too. Let me know. You always do. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And if you got March Madness brackets going on right now, hopefully they're not busted. And if people have not seen, if y'all haven't seen that video of the cheerleader getting the basketball down when it was stuck, that's a little like 40 seconds of just like pure enjoyment about everybody being so excited about something so simple. I really enjoyed it. Maybe I'll try to put the link to it below the video here. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, everybody. And yeah, Vikings 2022 season. Woo! Skol. Skol. I guess we got to Skol on, right? Always. So until next time, everybody, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace out. P.S. Mar. Hi. Hi to you and Kitty. I see she is in the condo all the time, being absolutely adorable. Of course, per usual. I miss you both, and I hope you're doing well. All right, everybody. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. Peace.